I can't believe it. But you had done, I don't know where you were, but you were in some kind of like jungle or like zip lining place or whatever it was. And you just had, I mean, you were younger and, definitely chubbier, and you look like a stud now. Not that you didn't then, but,
There you go. Love it.
But still, like, I remember seeing that and I'm like, 3 hours? Are you fucking kidding me? Like 3 hours, and I put that commercial together, and the amount that I've learned from you, Juan, I can't overstate it. Like, and it's not even worth mentioning it because everything I did then and led to now, your influence is all over that. And I know, and you've said this to me, that I inspire you too, and it's a mutual respect, and we inspire each other, and we drive each other, and the fact that there's a monetary relationship, it makes it even stronger.
Like, there's something happening. It
is, but it is right. But it is already happening, and we know that because we're finding. Well, no, I guess that we're not finding really. In a very short period of time, Juan, we've connected with pretty much the entire world, and have found some of the, I guess, leading influencers in the accounting space, and each and every one of them are very different and very unique. I feel like myself stands out for, a lot of different reasons. Some are probably hating that. Some are obviously loving it. But I think JJ stands out for the exact same reasons, as do you. And the one word, if I were to pick one word to describe all of that, and the reason why I believe that we have the eyeballs and attention that we do, is because it's authentic. And people feel it.
Authenticity. Man, Justin, you know what? I have you trapped now. Check this out. Because last time you came on the podcast, you weren't a client. But check this out. Actually, I'm going to cut it right here. Check this out. There's no cuts. Never. Look at. This is about to be one of the most authentic client testimonials in accounting history. I'm tired of seeing weirdo stuff, like in business, period. Then you bring that to accounting. You think people really want to talk to you? Like, no, I'm pretty excited about the authenticity we're bringing to the market. But I mean, Justin, like I said, like I have you trapped here now on this podcast for a few minutes here. Just talk. So when I had you on the podcast last time, I made a little inside joke of, Justin's not a client. And that we were laughing because like we knew like a few days later, like a week later, he was going to be a client. And so since then, we've been working on Justin's brand, the things that I talk about, things like that. Of course, Justin was already marketing before me, and even like used my free stuff, right, to like realize, oh shit, like this is serious. Plus, Justin also has the talent. So like, while I say like, yeah, he's my client, I've also told him things like, yeah, there's a reason like I don't talk about my clients just because of how, I guess, not gregarious and like charismatic. I don't think that's what it is, but even of how edgy I come across, right? So like when I'm dealing with 30 plus firms, they're not hiring Juan Garcia to do their marketing. They're hiring a firm to do their marketing. And so like someone like Justin is more apt to who I am. So like obviously I'm working closer with him as a firm. He's okay with putting his brand on the line and saying, hey, we're using like Gold Lake Media and everything, right? So that's one thing that was interesting about my whole first year in business. And I don't think that what I did there is for every business, but for my situation specifically, I did it on purpose. So we'll see what happens. But this is literally one of the first testimonials outside of people talking about me on other accounting podcasts. So Justin, I mean, you have the mic now. Go on, talk a little bit about our relationship.
Talk about you.
Our relationship, like what happened, like working together, like just even realizing things, like because I still believe people that are in my free content are actually clients.
Yeah, I
I
mean that's
actually believe that. Like, so
yeah, I mean because they are right because you're advising them and you're doing stuff. It's just there's no money exchange. So I mean it's technically true.
right.
Um,
And then now you're a paid client.
and now I'm paying client, and yeah, that was going to be under the radar, but I think in our situation, and the one thing I wanted to correct you on is everything you said is I'm agreeing with, and I'll obviously testify under oath that I agree with all that. But the one thing I didn't is that you said put my brand on the line by attaching it to Gold Lake. And I mean, honestly, brother, I couldn't disagree more than that. I mean, if anything, I would feel humbled on the opposite. Like you're trusting me. You're putting your brand on the line, right? Like that's the way I feel. But in the
That's
same
true.
sense, dude, that's not even close. I mean,
Look, yeah. And
I'll,
that's
I'll
why,
just straight up. What's that? Go ahead.
and I knew that like about you, right? So that's why like I'm okay with like literally framing you up here in this podcast to give me a review, right?
Mhm.
Without even telling you. Like so
Which
crazy.
you didn't
So
even tell me, and I obviously didn't prepare for any of this. You just said you want to jump on and do something, and that was literally 10 minutes ago. And I said yes. Like, who the fuck does that too, right?
yeah, no one. And that's why I think a lot of our accounting content and things like that and people that do things like this are actually going to beat more like, overly produced or people with a script or like inauthentic things where you can't really tell. And like from day one, I even said I wouldn't really have to say who my clients are. Like I wouldn't have to have some weirdo thing because we're actually going to be so good that you're going to know who we are. Like you're
Right.
literally just going to know. You're going to know
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. And that's why even just saying this and announcing that, right? Like, that can't be a surprise. I mean, you
It's
can
not
see
like
my
a
content. Like, look at the
stalker.
difference in my content. Like, all my shit's original, but you can tell what's all me, and you can tell what, Gold Lake Media is assisting us with. So, I mean, it's very obvious. Obviously, someone is using it. And one, I get a shitload of compliments. And, it's only a matter of time before I'm able to drive some, significant business your way. And that's what client relationships should be. It only benefits both sides by supporting each other strategically. I think that's why, even from your perspective, excuse me, that you don't want to announce it too much because you don't want to think that there's some kind of conflict of interest. But at the end of the day, I can walk up and down my block in like literally an eighth of a mile radius and run into 7 different tax shops.
Mm-hmm.
There's more than enough to go around, guys. Like, Gold Lake
Right.
could do everyone's marketing, and literally everybody would be happy because everyone has a different style. Everyone has a different like. I mean, not everybody's going to
Very
like me.
different.
Not everyone's going to want to work with me. And literally, the whole point of this entire social media marketing explosion is so each and every single one of us can do us. And not give many fucks about those that don't. And I feel like once money starts flowing a little bit more consistently, and I always go back to, Dominique of T-Bay. I always go back to that, like, because it's just, it's a perfect example of how she only does it for her clients, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we're here to talk about you.
So like, okay.
Well, hold on. Before we go into some other rabbit hole, because we tend to do that. Juan and I have 15-minute calls scheduled on a few times a month. They usually run like an hour, hour and a half.
Right,
So,
right.
like we usually, it's like, all right, it's only 15 minutes, but I mean, it depends. And this is essentially that, but I want to be respectful for the time here and the purpose of this. And when I first saw you, it was on Twitter. And it was just kind of like, all right, I'm going to try to do this. And you don't really know what you're doing. And I started with Twitter. For whatever reason, that's what I started with. And I just started looking for accountants and, people that were hashtagging CPA. And you can go back in my feed. Like I was just putting out all sorts of messages. And even if it was copy and paste, like I was just trying to get, I don't even think I was CPA JMac then. Honestly, I don't think I was, but it doesn't matter now. I don't know if that's documented anywhere. But looking for all of that, I found you. Or you found me, and it was right around the time when I had put that first YouTube video up of that commercial that I just, because I was playing around with the camera for a while, just trying to get comfortable with it, recording a bunch of shit, and that's when I decided to put that commercial together. That took so much freaking time, I can't believe it. But you had done, I don't know where you were, but you were in some kind of like jungle or like zip lining place or whatever it was. And you just had, I mean, you were younger and, definitely chubbier, and you look like a stud now. Not that you didn't then, but,
There you go. Love it.
But still, like, I remember seeing that and I'm like, 3 hours? Are you fucking kidding me? Like 3 hours, and I put that commercial together, and the amount that I've learned from you, Juan, I can't overstate it. Like, and it's not even worth mentioning it because everything I did then and led to now, your influence is all over that. And I know, and you've said this to me, that I inspire you too, and it's a mutual respect, and we inspire each other, and we drive each other, and the fact that there's a monetary relationship, it makes it even stronger. But you the first thing you taught me was the long form accounting content and how undervalued it was. So that was August 2018.
Yeah.
Juan is still using his video from back then for current content now. Like,
right.
Don't you guys
I need
get it?
to
Like,
even cut
are you
more.
not understanding this yet? And the fact that nobody does just makes it that much more exciting. Like, look, there's a reason why Juan and myself and JJ, and even Katie in certain aspects, like, we're kind of the, even JJ is some of the new kids on the block, right? I mean, there's certainly some accountants that have been hitting social media for a lot longer than both of us. But, let's call it what it is, Juan. We're on a different level. And it's only a matter of time. I mean, the only thing that's different is that we just haven't had the time, and it's really just patience, and it's just waiting to hit. And once people get wind of what we're doing, it's going to inspire an entire different group of professionals, an entire different industry of people that are going to understand that, hey, you know what? I don't have to work for these people. I don't have to be scared of these people for suing me for non-compete. I can literally go out and do a plug and play. You don't need a big investment in marketing. Like, you have to invest in marketing. And if you look at the amount of time that I put on my own page, like, everyone CPA JMac, you guys see it. It's a lot of time, and not saying you'd have to do that, but all you got to do is go out, do some marketing, take a couple of clients with you, as long as they're your relationships, and they throw a non-compete in front of your face, tell them to go fuck themselves. You call me up, I advise you. You call up Juan, he's going to hook you up with marketing. Boom, boom, here we go. And that's what's going to happen over time. And the smart ones, the smartest ones are not the youngest people. The smartest ones are my generation. The smartest ones are going to be the guys that are the senior managers, even the partners, the young partners, the managers, right? Those that are aspiring to be partner. First of all, partner means something, right? My wife's my partner, Juan's my strategic partner, just think about the word partner for a second. Those are the ones that are going to be the smartest, because they can get out now and they have the best relationships because you're the partner on the account. You can take that client in 2 seconds because you know how it works. You already complain about the way it's currently working. Those guys aren't really listening to you either, even though you're partner, right? Like, yeah, you're partner, but just wait till you see what's in store for you, right? And they're going to tell you they're going to listen, but they're not going to a certain aspect. So why are you going to sit there and suck on all that shit for a while when you can literally go out and take 2 clients, and you'll probably make more money the day after you leave than the day you're there? Because you'll be able to streamline so much of it, number one. There's already outsourced places you can do so much shit. I'm working, Juan, we just talked about this. I work from home. I have a staff person in India. I have a staff person in the Philippines. I have 3 specific strategic partners here in the States, here domestically, okay?
And we're looking to grow that as well.
Of course. And I work from home. And I just took a client from a national firm. All because, and you just mentioned this on the Jaeger podcast, it wasn't value. It was responsiveness. It was, I pick up the phone when you call. I respond to the text message. I respond to the email. You had talked about this on JJ, with the 24-hour rule. It's all the same thing. And that's why our relationship developed. But you and I started our gig on Twitter. You invited me on the podcast very shortly after that. And now that I know JJ was the guest, look, I'm not spiritual, guys. I'm not. Like, I don't, it's just, that's not me. And I respect it and all. It's just not. Shit happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, opportunity knocks. it's your choice. Like, you know, it's cliche, but really, like, it's never been easier. And only thing that's stopping you is yourself, because, and I know that's cliche too, but I was nervous. You're nervous. I mean, I'm sure you still get nervous. Shit, JJ gets nervous, right? I mean, you're always going to get nervous. It's never going to go away. But the more you realize that people really don't remember and don't really care, and even
People don't
the more you realize and the more
anything.
comfortable you get.
People don't remember anything. In 1950 and 1960, maybe they would for a much longer time.
They had to, you know?
Man.
But you don't need to, right? Because Mark Twain said it, you know, if you always tell the truth, you never have to remember anything. And that's just so true. Like, look,
Exactly.
JJ and I are different. I'm never going to be JJ. He is a completely different tax professional than I am. I'm a lot more strategic and engineering, you know, behind the scenes, the books, the records, putting all, like, you know, and I love the tax shit. Don't get me wrong, you know, but I'm not signing any tax return probably anytime soon, and I probably won't. And I have, like I said, I have domestic relationships, and I outsource that tax function. But I'm telling you, if I have a high net worth individual, you know who I'm calling up? Fucking JJ, the CPA out in Edmond, Oklahoma. And he's
right.
That client, because I just got started, and without the investment monetarily I've made in Gold Lake Media hasn't paid off yet, right? But that's not the point. It's not the monetary. The return on investment from a what's the word I want to use here? I don't want to say influence, just from the just the visual perspective, the eyeballs, the you know, the attention. Just from the attention perspective, it's invaluable. What did you say?
That's
Another
crazy.
thing you taught me. Another thing you taught me, right? What was the other thing? And I want to cut because it's important. I don't want to forget it, because this is about you. You taught me something else, that the money that I've spent and the time that I've spent in Uber and Lyft creating their content, and you know, obviously there's more of that.
Oh yeah,
it's going to pay off 100,000 times after that. The Airbnb that I spend creating content, that's gonna it's an investment. I'm spending a shitload of money. I just increased a little scope of service with you recently. I don't fucking have that, but you know what, man? I'm trying not to be nervous. Like I have confidence in what we're doing.
It's gonna be interesting, because it's interesting that you said the eyeball. You kind of gave, you know, that eyeball analogy, right, or example. I really try to help the accounting market see the opportunity that I see, right? And the reason that I have to go so fast and aggressive, and the reason that I have to even like get in front of Gary Vee, like tell him what's up, tell him like I have no interest in competing with you, like I'm taking over the accounting market. And
you know who's gonna buy it? And you know who's gonna buy Go Lake Media one day?
We'll see.
You know, maybe the Sasha Group.
The thing is, I'm injecting so much attention into and marketing talent into the accounting market, to where I want it to go up, because I know it can go up the top line revenue of the industry as a whole if the value of accountants period, CPAs period, were marketed better. And so in turn, what will spring up is a lot more CPA JMax, a lot more. Yes. I think even Gold Lake Media's people are going to pop up and compete directly with us, and we're going to be the ones to watch. And I mean, like you mentioned, the Sasha Group and VaynerMedia, like there will be more companies realizing what they should do. And like when Zero figures it out, they're probably not gonna call Gold Lake Media, right? They're probably better off with VaynerMedia or the Sasha Group.
No, I disagree.
I
disagree completely. No, I got to cut you there, because this is about you too, and this is a testimonial, and I disagree completely, and here's the reason why. You would have to partner with them. Not only would they need your strategic industry expertise on that, because I'm not sure that they would know how. I mean, obviously Jim has the accounting experience, and he would likely be able to do that. But in the same sense, you have to be able to relate to the accountants, right? I mean, even Jim just said that you want to like them. JJ says that, and there's a likable aspect to Juan. And when you say Zero is not, it's completely, you're completely wrong, and it's because I need to see somebody like Gold Lake Media assisting and working and partnering with Zero. So I know that Zero is small enough to take me on. That's number one. Number two, this way you're going to be showing people that are small like me, you know, a very early on shop, that there's this community of people that Zero has that I didn't even know about. It's
Yeah.
not okay that Will Lopez, it is okay that he reached out for me from AdvisorFi, but it's not okay that Will Lopez from AdvisorFi had to be the one to hit me up. He was not, I mean, he hit me up and asked me if I was interested in joining the huddle, like the monthly huddle they do with Zero, and I didn't even know it existed. Juan, it was freaking awesome. It was great. I'm dumping QuickBooks Online, man. Like, I can't get on. That's it. Like, I'm going to transition. Like, I'm already, any opportunity I get, it's going on Zero. Like, I'm just, because I'm so frustrated with QuickBooks Online, and I'm so frustrated with the software. But
Zero versus QuickBooks.
Yeah, but to say that Zero, I mean, we're going to ZeroCon in June, brother. Like, I'm
Right.
not expecting that. I'm not expecting us to be, you know, guests.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not going to be, you know, we're not just going to be a couple of faces in the crowd. I mean, there's already.
We've got something planned already.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're going to get their attention. Please go.
We go. I mean, I'm not going to tell them what it is. I mean, go to ZeroCon. Check it out. Check either go to ZeroCon, meet us there, join us. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be
San Diego. It's in
gonna be
San Diego
different.
in June. Yeah, man. And look, we got an Airbnb. Me, Jose from Z-Tax, Juan.
That's right.
Myself. We got an Airbnb. It's close, and we're gonna have some fun. Like, it's all about accounting. We're gonna party, and we're gonna have a good time, and we'll all be creating our own individual content. And you want to know something? Maybe not one of us individually has to go viral, but an entire industry can go viral, right? Why the fuck not?
Yeah. And like, I think things are just gonna get so much better. Like, here's where me and JMac go, like, talking about the future, right? Because we just know what's gonna happen if we stick around. And that, like, for JMac, that speaks to his marketing savvy. And, like, even talking about going back to VaynerMedia and the Sasha Group, and, like, who should work with Zero when they realize, like, what's going on. Like, go with a media company. Sure, they have marketers, but, like, get some more that are really, really good, that know what they're talking about, that, like, are the best in the world. And so, like, what they could even do, and people don't really, I feel like people try to do make some type of rule in their head that they can't have 2 different marketing companies or 3 or 5 different marketing companies working on one brand. But that's what happens in the real world of business. And so, I mean, Zero, if what you're saying is true, like, no, they shouldn't go with VaynerMedia. Like, you're my client. I appreciate that. They should go with Gold Lake Media. They should actually consult both of us, like, all 3 of us, do many different things from many different angles. If they really want to take advantage of the opportunity right now, that won't be the same in 5 years. That won't be the same in 10 years. And so, like, that is where Justin was able to position himself in 2018 and 19, kind of like, yeah, this is my brand. Plus, I mean, people know me now that, you know, I'm not going anywhere, right? And so I really respect what he was able to do before I even started consulting him, right? Before I started consulting Justin. But like, even then, I don't expect Justin, with all his talent, you might be listening to this and be like, well, I'll never do what Justin does, right? Yeah, I get it. It's Justin, CPA JMac. With all his talent, he's not just like gonna be a digital marketer all day, right? Even for me, like, as a digital marketer, I'm not gonna always, and like, I just posted some media that wasn't made by me. I'm not always gonna make and edit my own media, even though I'm doing a lot of editing all the time, right? So we're really trying to put pieces together here, grow businesses here. And I think Justin is definitely going to be able to do that. I think I even have a special insight here, like, that I talk about with Justin a lot, that you're going to see play out. And like, that's all I'll say. That's all I'll say, because it's back to like mixing my two angles of like being very Greg Popovich, very chess player, very strategic. But then at the same time, Deion Sanders, primetime, CPA primetime, letting everyone know our value. So let everyone know our value, telling them what we did, plus maybe even how it's going to play out without telling them the details behind the scenes. And they're just going to have to, watch it or, get us on. They're going to have to get us on the line and actually work with us, or they're going to have to watch it. Like not giving out the details of how we're specifically, going to take the whole thing over from the Greg Popovich side of things, right? He'll say something crazy on an interview, but he's not telling you how he's actually going to stop James Harden in the playoffs. He's just going to say James Harden is unguardable, right? So that's all I have to say right now.
That's it, right? And that's the point. And to that, before one thing I wanted to back up a little bit, like the marketing opportunity in this profession is ridiculously available, right? And the biggest, I mean, let's just think about Instagram and LinkedIn for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Combined, QuickBooks and Xero have 20,000 followers on LinkedIn, and they're at what, between 20,000 and then another UIT. Hold on, I want, this is important. Like, they have 50,000 followers on Instagram between the not even. Mm-hmm. That's embarrassing. Like, that's really embarrassing, and for Xero, it's even more embarrassing because
I
don't know about you guys. Like, I'm dying to find new software. Like, I'm dying to try something new. I'm dying.
What you just said, they didn't even.
You guys got pictures of fucking moths. You got a picture of a moth on your from March 13th. Like, really? Who that? My social media page, my Instagram page, blows this out of the fucking water. I have so much more technical content.
That's
I
actually
have more technical content in one post than you do have since your existence.
That's actually true. So they have followers or people go on their content and like it because they're already using Xero or they know about it, right? So if you look at Xero's content, and I'm going to do a breakdown in a few months, maybe even after XeroCon, after I look at their March ended financials and how they actually spent their money on the income statement and what was spent on marketing, right? But just very quickly, like if you look at their content, they're more like design oriented. So there's a lot of designers behind their marketing versus like marketing, like we've got to make some software sales here, right? And we've got to show small businesses, like we've got to build some brand here, right? And I think you've got to have a good mix between the two. And I don't think they're mixing it up. Like I could go on, but the situation with like how Xero missed the Instagram opportunity, which they can still take advantage of, like they're just leaving an incredible amount of brand on the table. So like the time it would take and the expense it would take to actually quote unquote beat QuickBooks, that time would shrink drastically if I was doing their marketing, like if I was in those rooms, right? I'm not just talking about me by myself. Oh, Juan needs to be posting, right? No, like one thing you got to understand about big companies is that we have much more resources to use, right? So looking at the difference between big companies and small companies is that small companies really have a lot of fear, right? Like Justin just said, like he's spending some money here with me. He expects it to pay off, right? That's kind of fucking scary. Like he literally said it. He said it. It's scary. Right.
Yeah.
But what's cool is like what the money that he's already put in really paid for already for him is the opportunities that it had opened up for him. Right. And then so now it's just up to us as a firm. Like I put myself in the position of his CMO. So I'm going to talk like this. It's up to us as a firm now to close and extract the value out of those opportunities, which we see coming in. Right. So that's on the small entrepreneur side. So they're scared to do that. They're afraid to do what Justin is doing right now. Thank you for having faith, Justin. Thank you for doing it with me, right?
Yeah.
On
sure.
The larger company side of things, or the larger budgets, or the firms that are even, 30 plus employees, even, million plus, 5 million plus, growing really well they might even be stagnant sometimes. A lot of firms don't tell you that until you get into their growth. But a lot of these firms that are even doing well and do have big marketing budgets, they don't want to spend the money on marketing, and they don't want to start marketing because they're afraid it has to look really, really professional and has to be overproduced. And so they don't necessarily have, if they do even get to spend money on content, they actually come out with one video and it's so-so, or two videos, and then like Will and Advisor Fi and like other people make fun of it, right? And so like
that was fucking. I can't believe nobody. That's got to get more traction than it did. That has to go make another round because that was way too funny.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say the bigger companies are afraid to spend money. It's just like the lack of reality of what their consumer would be consuming, right? So like for Zero, like there's a lot of free advice I'm gonna give Zero. So over to this next year, so like I'll just stop right there.
Yeah.
But that I want anyone listening to this podcast, like this /review / like testimonial / like value giving podcast. Come on, guys, you gotta love this.
Don't you understand though? Like I've said this before, and I've been saying this for
wait. All
sorry.
I want everyone to understand is the difference between the big company mistakes and the small company mistakes when it comes to marketing. Because the ones that will take this, what they should be doing from both and use it to grow their business, I think they'll build the best brands, right? So don't fall into the weakness of where you're at, right? You've really got to get past a lot of that. So
100%.
Go ahead.
And that's the thing. Just because they have the big marketing budget doesn't mean they're spending it properly. I mean, I'd rather be wasting time.
We only talked about budgets. Yeah, we only talked about budgets, and JMac uses a lot more time, like drastically, much more time than he uses his budget, right? And I think that's a great idea. Like if you're a smaller entrepreneur, like I do it.
Right.
Why? Well, oh, you're a marketer, Juan. You're a marketer, Juan. Like you're not spending $1 million on ads. Yeah, I don't have $1 million to spend on ads, but I do have $1 million to spend in time, and I actually believe my time investment will pan out. Like it's scary, but anyway, Justin, what were you saying? What were you saying?
But you're not going to use, like, that's the thing. Like, you're not going to, you and I are going to work together differently on a regular basis because our relationship will evolve over time. Because guess what I'm not going to be doing after a while, hopefully? My own fucking Instagram. Like, right. It's a tremendous, I'm not going to have the time to do it. I don't have the money to do it yet. But honestly, even if I had somebody to pay to do what I do, I would never do it because I need my style to be out there. I guarantee you 1,000%.
Right now, I just recorded an hour-long video for a 30-plus person firm the other day, and I broke it down to how we would actually get their 6 experts in the firm out there on LinkedIn without their experts having to get up from the desk ever, right? Or log on, right? So,
yeah, I mean,
we've got to build businesses here, right? I'm not putting you through a course because I think that you need to be a digital marketer. In fact, I think a lot of the digital marketing talk is going to mess you up.
Guys, there's a tremendous amount of people out there that don't understand income taxes, and it's very easy to start at that level. Do you have any idea how many clients I just picked up over the last several weeks that literally just started their own business? So, I mean, from an investment standpoint, I'm like an angel investor, just investing my time in these people, and if they hit, dude, that's accounting fee. I've already built the trust.
Let me say this. I can't speak to a CPA or someone in accounting that really loves something like tax, quitting their job at a firm to start their own venture if they were not entrepreneurial. If they were entrepreneurial growing up, like, yeah, maybe they should. But I think, so that being said, I actually think the best option is like not even to look at someone like JMac, who is damn good, like who is good and then also quit. Like he can survive. Me,
I got fired.
I'm yeah, good.
Guy, hold on, stop.
Realize the opportunity.
No, finish yours, and I got to jump in on that because I had a there's the misperception going on. That needs to be
so JMac has like this whole thing, like, you know, he has years and years of experience. Probably on the listener, probably we're talking about quitting firms here. or getting fired from firms too. And then starting your own thing regardless, right? Most people would go back and say, oh no, fired from a firm, like no one will hire me ever again. Like clients are hiring JMac, right? So the thing is with him though, he has like all this experience, plus like the savvy to realize the current opportunity, plus like all this motivation from like these different pain angles that I know about too. I study a lot of psychology and how people act. I don't talk about it a lot with the accountants because you get in your head too much. Don't worry about it. Just start talking to people, accountants, and call them. Okay, call them. Yeah, I have a profile on you. Like I talk, I talk to you different than I talk to people in Texas or people in Canada. Trust me. But I notice things about people, and I try to notice things about myself. That being said, like what I noticed about myself is I'm just a marketer that went into PwC, tried to help them grow their business, had to do accounting meanwhile, and then quit and said, man, let me just do marketing for like all these accounting businesses instead of just PwC alone, right? So I wasn't actually interested in going into their marketing department. It might sound arrogant, but it's not arrogant. Like I was too good. I was too good to go in their marketing department, meaning I would have went in and wanted to change so much that I wouldn't have been able to change as an actual entrepreneur. It would have been way too frustrating for me to stay, right? AKA, like I quit before that even happened. Like I didn't even apply. I didn't even apply to their marketing. And so anyway, the accountants that are listening to this that might want to quit, that are not like me, something that I just described, that are not like JMac, where you got fired and like you actually have so much savvy, plus like, you know, there's a moment happening in your life right now where you have to figure out what the hell is next. And so like, man, JMac, I mean, you've got to love where you're at right now. Like things are looking pretty damn like, you know, like, oh shit, things could be a lot worse, right? And I know the same could be said for me, where I quit with like $3,000 in my bank account. And like, I was saying, all right, like, hopefully I can make some money like over this next like 2 months, literally, you know, and then we'll see if I'm an actual entrepreneur. And yeah, I did it. It happened. So if you're not like that,
I got fucking thrown out with 2 kids living on Long Island with a mortgage and student loans and all sorts of great stuff.
Yo,
to do what I do. Look, somebody asked me the other day, like, I want to do what you do. And I said, well, what do I do? And they're like, you know, just, you know, going out there, you know, and like talking all this technical stuff. And it's a great compliment when people tell me that I'm the most technical person on Instagram. That's a huge compliment. And yeah, I've talked to a lot of people that have said that, and they follow a lot of other accountants. And think about it. I'm sitting there in my fucking pajamas spitting fire about accounting and tax, and I'm the most technical guy out there. So what does that tell you, right?
Love it.
But, you know,
I said it.
Fuck, what were we just talking about?
Where you're at, like it's crazy.
So, you know, right. Oh, so what do I do?
It's not
right.
normal. What do you do?
So I you got to realize so I did quit public accounting. I left public accounting, and every single person that I worked with thought it was a huge mistake. And the mistake, I didn't make a mistake leaving public accounting, right? Like I was too much of a wuss to just do it on my own, and I always wanted to, but I just didn't have the chops. You know, I didn't think I had the confidence, and it's not like I had any mentor like Justin McAuliffe out there to help me. It was just myself. Mm-hmm. You know, I had to get at it all alone, and that's really what I did. So it took the confidence to leave, but I still went to another shop, and the mistake was working with those people because they were liars, and that was the mistake. But wasn't a mistake was leaving. The moment I got fired, that's the moment everybody needs to focus on, because that's your moment, right? Mm-hmm. When's your moment going to be? Are you going to make the moment, or are you going to wait for the moment? I waited for the moment. Whether that was good or bad, I don't really know, but at least I'm here, right? I could have left earlier. Maybe it doesn't matter. I'm here now. I didn't like where I was. Only recently do I. And again, dude, guys, I'm in a lot of debt. Like I owe a lot of money. Like I live, like I said, like and you live your lifestyle a certain way. I'm not worried about it because I know I'm going to make a shitload of money over the next soon. Like it's going to happen. And
no one is worried about it, dude. Netflix isn't worried about it.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
This is debt. This is the best time history to have debt. And like, there's a lot of people, like even Gary Vee would disagree with me about going to college to get debt. But if you're actually going to go down something like accounting or like figure out a way to make it profitable after, I'm like, you're not in a position like where I was, like coming from the ghetto, like the hood, like literally, like it's a miracle that I'm not already like shot, or like Juan didn't, like by happens serendipity, not even drunk, just die in a car accident. Oh, the kid from the West Side, like, dang, we can never have anyone doing good things coming out here because they always die. Like, that's where I come from. And like,
you know where I come from though? I come from a place with like a silver
everyone,
spoon and all the opportunity in the world, and it just creates a bunch of spoiled little fuckers. And I had similar struggles, just in a completely different way. Right?
Yeah,
so,
I was gonna say, like, and everyone has their little stories, right? Their pain stories. Like, it's so this life is so wild and crazy that like literally philosophers are surprised that we're just not all crazy all the time. Like, things are actually pretty civil and sophisticated right now for like all the end of the world talk. Like, it's actually pretty crazy that even all this is structured, right? We're going to record this and then put out a podcast that's then going to help us with business. Crazy.
Or
so
not.
Lucky.
I mean,
So lucky.
You know, that's not the point.
It's not the point. That's not the point. But I just want everyone to realize how insane the opportunity is right now, and like how insane what we're doing is, right? I think too many people take it for granted, or like even something like debt where people would get embarrassed, right? Yet they don't know that Netflix is like billions in debt, right? How do they get out of that debt? They do a good job building Netflix, and hopefully someone buys them, right? Hopefully they get bought.
Because the debt's going to be worth way more than the actual brand of the business, and that's the whole point. Like, everyone can build their own personal brand, and you want to know, just using
wait, the debt is going to be more than the personal brand.
What do you mean? That's what I just said.
You said like there's going to be more debt than personal brand.
No. The brand is. Like the $1 billion in debt, it doesn't matter, because it's going to be worth $5 billion, and you're going to write a check for the $1 billion, and now it's worth $4 billion. Like, that's equity, guys.
100%.
That's the point. Like, it doesn't matter what the number is. It matters if you're going to bet on yourself, and they're betting on themselves, just like all of us are. It's just you have the chops to do it, and it's totally fine to not. But if you're happy, then you're not that person. But you can be an introvert, and you can be a nerd, and you can just literally do your entire block's tax returns. Do you know how easy I'm getting emails and DMs all the time from people I went to high school with, I grew up with, I went to college with, and it's amazing. I'm reconnecting with these people. All want me to do that personal tax returns. Now, for me, it's $0. Like, I don't make any money on that. I subcontract it out. It's an investment in my team. But that's fine. Like, that's the point. And I don't need that low-hanging fruit. And that's what it is, guys. Go grab it. Everybody hates.
If I'm good enough, like, I'm not afraid of debt. At the same time, there's a reason that I still own Gold Lake Media for the first 2 years. Like, I just clocked in a second year of you can't invest. Like, yeah, I haven't even been to a year yet. I just on the podcast.
I could probably
like,
get what?
First 2 years, like, I'm not giving up percentages right now.
I wouldn't give up anything for any amount of money. I will own this
company.
I
would.
forever for 100%. I wouldn't ever, but that's fine. That's I would never ever do that in a million. I will own this company 100% until I die.
Mm-hmm.
Now, additional ventures that I develop because of this company, that's a different story. Because
100%.
You know, like I'm your part. I mean, there's no point for me to ever bring in a partner because I can still produce with my other partners.
Yeah. So
you're
probably just gonna have like other firms that you build, and a lot of business is gonna come through you. Like, it's just like, I'll just say it. Like, that's what I just said there. That was an understatement, and the fact that I'm even going back talking about it again, then like talking about it a third time, telling you that no one is gonna catch it. Talking about it, going again, letting you think about it a fourth time, telling you that no one is going to catch it. Plus, we're so good that we can say something like that, and we're ready for the competition that's going to come along. Like, It's over. It's done.
Not even
I'm excited.
competition, though. Like,
I'm
and it's
excited.
not. I'm not saying that
There's no
arrogant.
such thing. Like, there's no
Right.
such thing as competition when like the market isn't even doing anything.
Like Gary Vee's competing with other billionaires because he wants to buy the Jets, right? Like that's his thing.
Mhm.
Like I don't need to compete with everybody because I'm different. I'm just being me. And yeah, there's going to be copycats out there, and I hope you don't do that. Just be yourself. Like Gary, like people keep saying that I remind them of Gary Vee. I remind them, and I know I'm sure there are people out there that think this is like a shtick, and I'm copying him. Let me say something, guys.
Clarify.
Like I like. Gary Vee inspired me in a very different way. Gary Vee gave me emotional intelligence, and I didn't even know what the fuck that meant when I saw him for the first time. When I saw him for the first time, I saw somebody like me. Not background-wise. Our backgrounds are completely different. Like, just completely different. Like, we're at where we're on now, right? But I saw him on stage act like I do, like the mannerisms and the cursing, specifically the cursing. Like that's where I was like, because for me, it's just part of who I am.
New York.
I curse in front of my kids too. And I don't give a flying fuck what you think about it. Because you want to know something?
I grew up like
They're going to curse one day. And it's like I'm telling them to go run around their preschool and say, I'm going to eat your pussy out. Like, that's a little bit different. Like, what was the fucker in the pussy, right? Like, James, that's a little bit different. But I'm saying, like Gary Vee says it, right? Like, I really care about you. I really care about you. Okay. I give a fuck about you. Now that says something. And when I saw him do that and I saw him act like that, I'm like, you know what? He's successful. Let me look into this guy. I'm like, holy fuck, this guy is like legit. And I'm like, well, if he's like making a lot of money and influence and got a lot of these followers and this is how he acts, well, I guess I can act the same. And not act. This is who he is, right? Behave. This is who he is, and this is the authenticity that he's willing to put out and give himself a level of vulnerability and even almost shame in a way, right? Because like there's every bit, and I'm sure he's insecure about things as well. But when I saw him, I didn't want to be him. I just wanted to be myself, and seeing him be himself and seeing a lot of me in him gave me the confidence to crazy. Just do it. So I did.
That's amazing. That's amazing. No, I agree. That's why most accountants don't post. Like they're afraid of what people might think.
It's not even at accounting at that point, It's obviously I'm a unique personality in accounting.
Look, you're a unique personality, period. Do you know how many people wouldn't even do what you do? Like to build a brand, even though they know like it's a good idea and it's a thing that they should do, and like they won't even work on it. Like it can be worked on. Like
it's vulnerable, guys. Like it's put in and that's never gonna.
I don't pressure accountants to like be like J-Mac a lot, but I'll say this: like it can be worked on.
Yeah, and please don't, because if my wife finds out there's more people like me, she's gonna be
like
hurt.
J-Mac.
Like, oh my God, really? Like there's, listen.
People like me.
And that's the point. And Gary has said that if I change just one person, dude, it's me. Like I'm one of them. Like I'm one of those. Like,
dope.
So different, like that different influence you were looking for, and I see it in him. Like he doesn't even say it. And I know you and I have talked about that, right? And we've talked about that too, like that. I don't want to say brilliance, like just that, that ability, right, to execute and to win. It feels good for a hot
like
second.
win, like it's a game, like dude, like it's a job. Business is like a job for other people, and like
I'm on to the next
I get it. Like there's conversations. We have to make money with the family. Like da da da. Like this. Like I don't know. Here's what we expect in a year. Like stop asking for that now. Like here's what we expect in like 5 years.
This is brilliant.
Family dynamics, but other than that, like man, I'm able, dude. Like this is like.
Here's how you know if you got it.
I don't play PS4 anymore and PS1 anymore. Like
I don't play video games.
This is my video game, man. Like this is crazy.
Right. I don't watch TV. I couldn't even tell you. Who's playing in the tournament. I couldn't even tell you.
So
no idea.
What you're hearing now is like the difference between the people who like actually want to be the best in the space. And like, if you can take some of that and like build a business out of that, if you don't want to be the best, you just kind of want to have a business, like that's still an option. Like we're not sitting here saying like, you have to do this, like you have to do that. Like I just said it. I don't like to force accountants to do anything in marketing because they're accountants. They're not marketers. But like, if you want to take advantage of this opportunity that like Justin is just like, bam, like swinging away at, I'm hitting like game winners on, like just barely, like by the skin of my teeth, opportunities like with Gary Vee and a lot of other people like that I've built in less than a year from quitting my job. Like things could have been different. Things could have been worse. I could have put some like sad post out for a year in business or something like that. Like, oh yeah, guys, I tried, but like I was happy to meet everyone, but this is just like not enough money, right? I could have put that post out and got like much more likes and much more comments and folded up. But like, this is all just too, like way too fun and good. Like,
Yeah.
I'm taking this opportunity. Like, I didn't expect this to happen in the first year. I will be completely honest. Like I expected to go out there, come out here, right? It's like a game, right? I expected to go out there and like give everyone a run for their money, create what I saw was never created in the accounting space, like what really needed to be put. I gave myself a time limit of 3 months. And it even still sucks. Like after 3 months, like I was like, all right, 6 months, like we'll see. Like after 6 months, things got pretty damn crazy. I'll just say that. And I'll leave that there. But that being said, that is like me just so I realized the opportunity more and more and more and more. And it's like, if you realize the opportunity, if you listen to this, then it's going to hurt in 5 years. Like, I'm sorry to go with some fear-based marketing here, but like, that's why I go so hard, because I know if I look at everything that's going on right now, I could like make money on a job over here in Silicon Valley, like on a corporate job over here, right? But if I let pass what's going on right now and I looked back in 5 years and didn't do it, guys, like I wouldn't even want to think about it. Like, you know, this one, like I would think about it for a split second, feel like throwing up, and like my mind wouldn't even be able to let me think about all the opportunity that I didn't take. So I'm preventing myself from being sick to my stomach in 5 years that I didn't take the opportunities. So that's it. That's actually all I have to say today.
That's what you said 40 minutes ago.
All I have to say, man. I said it a different way, right?
People I understand.
Maybe repeating yourself. I'm going to say it again. Like,
here's the thing. I want to
say the same thing for 20 years.
And that's right. That's all I got to say. No, I'll never shut up. Like, I have something to say all the time. Like,
go.
Here's how you know if you have it, right? Do you get excited about wins? And if you get excited about wins and then you hang on that excitement, you don't got it. If that win makes you happy and you want another win and another win and another win, do you really think Kobe's satisfied with 5 rings? Do you think Michael Jordan's satisfied with 6 rings? No. Mm-hmm. Like, they won, and then guess what? They were back to work the next day. Look at Bill Belichick. He takes a week vacation, and he's right on the draft. And what does Bill Belichick say after he wins the Super Bowls? He hates the Super Bowls because he's then behind on drafting and recruiting for the following year. Like, wow. Like that, but I understand that a little bit. Like, you know what? That's the thing. Like, you want more. Like P. Diddy, right? Like, you know, give me something else. What can I do, right? You know, I need something else. Like,
right.
That's how you know you have it. And then if you have it, then you need to listen to what we're saying. And if you don't have it, and that's okay, that's totally fine. You only need to listen to a little bit, because if you don't have it but you want it.
Check this out. If you don't have it and you kind of want like the CPA, JMAC style like stuff, like get introduced to that, and you like don't have it, how like you know in your head right now you're listening to this, like you're like, I don't have it. I would suggest not necessarily quitting your firm if you're a firm, like a larger firm, and you kind of want to go like more, take advantage of more of the opportunity. But I would actually quit and then work for someone like JMac. Like that's what I would actually do, is work for one of these new accounting brands that are going to be the brands of the future, that some of them are going to have nice offices that you can work in, and some of them allow you to work from home or the coffee shop or whatever. Like, it's all, there's new stuff that a lot of people don't know about coming up in accounting. I know because, you know, I was on that side, and like, I had no clue about this entrepreneurial, like, accounting based, like, so many accounting businesses, so many accounting firms. It's actually so easy to compete when you actually have a marketing campaign.
Yeah.
I would join someone like JMac if I feel like I still needed time at a firm. I would spend it with the firms that are growing right now. So,
Or in line with your own vision.
that's right. Like, who do you, yeah.
Right?
It's like, who do you want to, where do you want to sit, and then just do a lot of what they do? I mean, I've had meetings with them. Like,
So you're a
I've
big
had meetings with these people.
right. You love the basketball analogies, right? So does LeBron James have it? Does Kobe Bryant have it? Right? Does MJ have it? And the answer to all those questions obviously is yes. But you know who didn't have it, really it, and still has more or the same rings as Kobe Bryant? Well, none other than Robert Horry, who never made the Hall of Fame and never will make the Hall of Fame. But I'm telling you, that boy, he was an important part of how many different championships was he at? 5, right?
Important.
Like he
In San Antonio, we remember him for one thing and one thing only. Only one shot in one game. That's it.
That shot.
Thanks.
That was
and that's
like, and how many big
you
shots has he had? Like, that's the thing. He was a fucking assassin when the game was on the line. But you never heard of him. Like, you just know who he is because he has that very prestigious. Like, I got to tell you, man, I would almost rather have a career like that than a career like LeBron. Because you got that success and all of that comes with it, but not that pressure to be this, like, you know, God and influencer for the rest of your life and have that attention. Like, you know, you're always on the spotlight, and MJ's own perceptions change on a regular basis. Like, look at Jeter, for crying out loud. Like, A-Rod and Jeter, like, talk about two guys retiring and completely flipping the perception, guys. You know why that is? Because A-Rod was authentic. You just didn't like that authenticity, but now you do. Because he's not that rich baseball player anymore. Now he's that commentator, and now you're seeing why A-Rod was so good for so long. And yeah, the steroids aside, but you didn't like him because he was authentic. Jeter was shy and back, and now you're kind of finding out he's a little bit of a dick. I'm not a dick. I mean, I'm a dick, but you know I'm a dick. Like, you know, you're not going to find out I'm a dick. Like, you're going to know. And that's what I think. And I was thinking about this the other day, Juan. Like, we talked about this.
Yeah.
I would rather be where we are right now because I think people are going to continue to get exposed. Like, a lot of these crazy things that are happening in this world, it's just going to continue to happen because people aren't authentic, and more content is going to be documented and created, and more people are going to gain confidence to put themselves out there, and more good guys are going to realize that there's a lot of good guys out there. It's just the bad guys that are blocking everyone, because Gary Vee has said this as well. The bad people are the loudest. It's just you're the smallest majority. It's just we're all insecure and scared to challenge them, but that's going to continue to happen. And you know what's going to happen then? Actors and actresses and all these other people, they're not going to be as popular and famous because you're going to realize how little their fucking opinion means because they're all stupid. They're just good looking. And I'm not saying they're all stupid, and I mean that in the nicest way possible, but like a majority of men, like they're getting their opinions taken on like world events. Like they even know what the hell's going on. Like Kylie Jenner has dollars. Like Kylie Jenner has talking about opportunity, guys. Like,
what should we do, Kylie Jenner?
Like they make all this money. They all took that opportunity, though. Like they could have been one of those kids that didn't, and they did. But in the same sense, like, doesn't that kind of piss you off a little bit? Don't you know how easy it is? The barriers, we all learn barriers to entry in accounting, barriers to entry. Do you realize that the barriers to entry pretty much any single industry in 2019 is as low as it will not only ever be, but it's practically zero in a lot of instances. And you know which one of those industries is? Accounting. Get to work.
100%. And it happened pretty fast with accounting. Like, it happened faster in other industries over a longer period of time. I think it happened in a shorter period of time for accounting with less people realizing, which means there's a lot of opportunity to be had. And
It only took us this long to dissect the industry, right? From a
only
marketing perspective,
I think
it's not like we're geniuses.
there's still
right?
a lot
Just
to
we saw
learn.
the opportunity.
Like there's still a lot to learn, which is why I surround myself with the best marketers in the world. And then, you know, people can say what they want about my marketing skills. The results will prove themselves. But at the end of the day, like, we did a lot pretty fast with our brands by doing what we know it should have worked. The way things are looking, the way other people are doing it, right? It should work.
They're only going to pay attention because they only care about how many Instagram followers you have. And after a while, when we have, 30, 40, 50, 100,000, 240, then it's going to be too late. And the only reason why we do, like, that's the thing, guys. Like, you can't just post one thing and think it's going to go viral. Like, it's called an algorithm for a reason. Do you think these guys, like, it's called an algorithm? You know what that means? Yeah. I have no idea either. So, and I'm a CPA. Like, nobody knows what the fuck it means. But it doesn't essentially mean that everything's connected and it's all supposed to happen for a reason. Like, when you're searching for something, all of a sudden you see it on your Facebook feed. Like, I can't, like, the old people, like, they just don't like the people that are running our world right now. They can't believe that they are searching on Amazon for like a Coach bag and then go to Facebook and see an ad for that same Coach bag. It's like, oh my God, what a coincidence. Oh my God, you're in charge of this place? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Do you realize that people could be telling people lies and they believe them, right? So I'm fascinated by how many people don't actually look at my content before, like, they ask me something, right, about marketing, versus like the people that do look at my content, they're like in it, like they're really in it. They're either in my content and my like message, right, and they keep consuming it until like they ask me or they're a client or we just have a great relationship, or they watch one video and then they make an inquiry, like, and it's a great inquiry. But like usually people just look at your content very quickly, right? Usually they don't watch an hour-long podcast, but when they do, like, it's really nice, and it does happen. But
I got breaking news. I got breaking accounting news. I'm not kidding. First time ever, history of accounting, history in the world. I have a breaking news right across my email that literally came over at 4:39 on March, what the hell? Coast. Hey, Justin, love to get you on the phone to talk about the podcast and get you set up for recording. Can you please give me a call at your convenience? Robert Medford, producer at Yeager CPA Review.
And why did that happen? Like, it didn't happen because I told them about you.
No, that didn't happen at all. Now, talking about an algorithm, that's actually kind of a funny coincidence. The reason why it happened is because of the algorithm. Okay. The reason why it happened is because I was engaging. I'm one of the people that Juan was saying that's engaging with the content. I'm engaging with the content. I've been engaging with the content a lot, but you know why? What's been happening? Juan's shit has been at the top of my news feed every single time. I have like 2,500 followers on Instagram and most of them post. That's called the algorithm. It's going to show you what do you like to see. This is called, you're telling me what I want to buy without me even knowing it. I like this stuff, so you're going to continue to give me more of it and more of it and more of it. And what am I continuing to do? Every single time I see one of those things, it's an opportunity. It's a door that's being opened. And guess what? Every single time I choose to go through it. And this was no difference. I engaged with Jody Padar. She had some post. I don't remember what it was exactly. I'd have to look back. I wasn't expecting to talk, but not that I would. It doesn't really matter. But commenting in Juan's stuff and being in Juan's stuff, I saw something Jody posted. Jody's got 600-something thousand followers on LinkedIn. We've both been on your show. I've engaged a little bit with her online, and that maybe that's because of it too. And it's not because I want to get famous or anything like that. I mean, I want to make money, but I enjoy it. Like, I like it too. Like, it's fun. And yes, you want to become all of that, and that's why we all do it. But
I'm engaging because it's interesting and I agree or I disagree. I feel like I can provide value. And this post was no different. I got to be honest, I'm not even sure if I saw one, but I did see Jody. And every time I see her, she gets my attention. I commented, and then Megan, oh, Jesus. Luschik? I don't know. She's the chief operating officer and a CPA. I butchered her name, and I apologize for that. But I commented, and then I liked something Megan. I didn't even know who Megan was. I really didn't. I swear. And even when I was talking to Megan, like I actually we got in our DMs, and I'm like, oh, that was such a great comment. Like that was like I totally agree. Or it was something energy. I don't remember the term, some term I never heard of that I thought was interesting to adapt to the workplace. And then she's like, oh, that's really cool. I appreciate your insight. Like you should come on our podcast. I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. And then she sends it to me. She's like, nice. Oh, here it is. You gave your CPA review. I'm like, wait, that's the same fucking thing that Juan was just on. And I'm like, is it really that coincidental? And I looked on, I'm like, shit, there you are. Juan Garcia, like just posted 2 days ago.
Nice.
Dude, but that's how it happened. Like that's a true story, 100% legit. It's not coincidental though, guys. Like it's only again, it was an opportunity. I'm gonna get invited to go on this podcast. That's incredible.
And like, I was going to let them know about JMac like weeks down the line so that like we could maybe spread our episodes if he was going to go, right? I'll send like our brands that do a lot of podcasts. I'll send them like different places and help them out with opportunities. And so I was going to do that for JMac, which is why like, man, like that just speaks to marketing and like constantly having eyeballs on you to where even though like he was going to get on the podcast regardless, like he was too good to where I didn't even have to help him out with that opportunity. Like, in fact, there should be my best brands should be constantly getting more opportunities than me in accounting. Like I'm building my accounting businesses and brands here. So that's the thing. But
you said that before, right? And think about that.
And it's true.
I'm not your typical client because we spit fire on marketing. Like that's always, like I've always loved that. Like I love the marketing piece. It fascinates me. Like 2 of my favorites are Geico, which is obviously, they're just brilliant every single time, even the shit you hate. And Orbit's Gum I thought was brilliant. Like I think Orbit's Gum was like that first company that kind of went quote unquote viral on a marketing platform, and they kind of came out of nowhere if you think about it. Like it was Trident all the time, and then all of a sudden I see Orbit's, and I got to tell you, I see Trident gum at the bodegas. It's there, but Orbit's is taking up an entire row, and I don't know how they do it. I don't know the story, but behind it, the marketing, I always saw like if they did it, it's possible. There's a formula, but that stuff is always fascinating.
Candy matters.
It does, of course.
VaynerMedia made Sour Patch Kids like the worst grossing candy or something like that. I don't know the statistics, but like it just wasn't doing really well to like literally the best selling candy. They called VaynerMedia for it. Like,
look at Marshawn Lynch. Who was the first? What was it? Odin?
And not all clients, by the way, not all candy companies would have given VaynerMedia the creative freedom, by the way, to deploy their marketing plans to what they would know would work. And I think like they've been with them for like 5+ 10 years, like Budweiser, the same thing. There's a reason VaynerMedia talks about Miracle Whip or something like that, their client Miracle Whip versus like the many other clients they have, right? So there's a reason I have JJ, Justin, CPA, JMac.
Right. I hope that happens all the time. I hope that happens.
Yeah, good branding.
Yeah.
There you go. And, I have JMac on the podcast here for a reason. And it's because, like, he's a special type of client, just like for how the bigger firms, they talk are about 2 or 3 clients, right? And so while your firm doesn't have to be like, JMac or even JJ's or like, C3 Evolution Group's firm, like all these accounting businesses need better marketing to increase the top line And if it's a marketing problem, like if it's not a marketing problem, then there's an infrastructure problem to, okay, like we don't need to be marketing because you can't make any more money. Like that should be nearly impossible if I want to get realistic here, right? You say, I just want to stay small, then you should have your referral partners and be capturing a lot of attention. That's the ultimate, like just sitting there and staying small is like capturing the most amount of attention, then helping business owners build their businesses while your referral partners help you build these businesses. Right.
Do you remember? Yeah, go ahead.
So like there doesn't need to be a lot of confusion as far as does marketing pay off, right? There just needs to be a lot of like, hey man, here's the opportunity. Are we doing this? Or are we not? And then like, do we have a place to put this money? Like this money from these leads, what are we selling here to the attention that we're grabbing and the amount that we're spending on marketing, right? So like I could actually, in other words, like I'll trip out everybody here for a minute. Like I could grow even faster than I am growing right now. Like, so I have a more of an infrastructure problem, right? And I'm fixing it, and I'm fixing it as we speak. And these are like growing pains that like I've even had like since November, and like they were worse last year. Like, but the thing is, I have special things in my marketing back pocket that I haven't pulled out on purpose. Yet, I'm a marketing firm that you can visually see. I also know how to market myself. How many firms also don't know how to market themselves? It's super weird. And I'll leave it at that. But I just want you to understand like how you could grow a business at the same time where it looks like you're actually not marketing, or you don't necessarily need the best marketing in the world, right? Like I said, I can get much more attention on me right now. It's just like I have the right people, the right attention. I know what I'm doing. And so like, if I have a bunch of attention, I have nowhere to put it right now. That's a problem that I'm fixing. But everyone that likes to just kind of watch, even like, as you know, just like, oh, what are they up to? Like as far as marketing and like what ideas are we coming up with? Like there's a lot of ideas that would get too much traction right now, believe it or not. So that's
well, then you can't keep up with it all too, and then you need the team.
Yeah, and like then it gets just about content, and that's where you get like the zero type things, like, oh, like look at this commercial we made, look at this thing we made. I didn't make, and this is good timing here because like I just made this literally yesterday. I didn't make the post about IGTV stories featuring Katie Thomas's origin story. I didn't make that post for content to see, look what I did. I did that for a business reason. So like, we've got to wake up here as business people. Anyway, well, I'm getting hungry, and I'm getting I'm getting ready to work some more on some other things. But are there any last thoughts?
Look at that! I had you tap out before me.
Woo. Yeah. I feel. You know what? I feel you. But guess what, Justin? I'm getting ready to go on this sales call right here, and grow another firm, and they're growing pretty damn fast and well.
But that's the thing. There's no fucking weekend, guys. There's no weekend.
This is
24/7. You know why I'm able to do what I can do is because I literally work where I sleep. And
love it.
I know there's folks out there that say working at home in my pajamas is not appealing. And you don't know something? You're right. Fine. But you know what's not appealing to me? Waking up mad ass early in the morning and going to an office and having to get dressed every single day so you can press people that you work with when I can get up out of bed.
That
in 75 seconds. Like I get up, dude, and I go into Skype right away. I'm right into Skype. I'm talking to my staff. I'm going right away. Boom.
Justin,
I get more done before
the life you want.
Office.
Justin saying you don't have to be crying in the office. Like, when will people realize this? Like, the accounting industry is the worst at this. Crying in the office? Like, come on.
It's tax season, but I had a fairly slow week. Like, I'm a startup though, you know. I still have new clients. Like, I had a fairly, slow week in terms of accounting. But, that means I didn't make any money. But you know what I did? I chilled out and relaxed.
if this was at one of my last firms, I wouldn't have a lot of work, and then they would throw shit on me, and it's shit that we were doing for free anyway, and I'm stressed out and I'm miserable.
And
So
that's on Justin. Like, strategically take breaks. Like, that's on his schedule, right? Versus like, oh, like people don't take breaks in March, Justin.
well,
He strategically decided. Strategically decided that his quality of life, plus his business, plus his mind and health, would be better off. Like, everything would be better off if he took a damn break. Like, he decided that. So
right, but like,
not
also,
like some
I was also bored a little bit.
Scary partner that like goes off of work ethic only, almost exclusively. And so that's why a person like me actually beats a person like one of my best friends who like passed the CPA exam in like less than 3 months, literally gets the promotion before them without a CPA, like, because they're just like showing their work ethic and they know how to communicate their value. That's how a person like me within a big firm actually beats a better skilled accountant. That sucks. Accountants, get your communication skills up. Like, get more of what you want. I would say get more of what you want, accountants.
Do more of what makes you happy.
Like, did you hear what I said? Like, I did do it. Like, I was beating the better accountants than me.
Not beating. Currently beating. Currently.
Now, even like they should. My friends should like quit their firms and like come work in my firms, or like when they start their own, they're gonna have the damn best marketed firms in wherever they decide to live. Like, I hope you realize what's going on.
And marketing is just whatever you want it to look like. Like, Juan's not a genius. He's just listening to what you want. Gary says that too. Like, he's not a genius. He just listens to what you want, and he's good at solving problems and thinking outside the box. That's it. That's all it is. It's mental exercise, emotional intelligence, self-awareness, know what you're good at, right? You said that on Jaeger CPA on the podcast, that you subcontract shit out too, right? I mean, you can handle anything. I can handle anything because I can handle the biggest audits because I have relationships with people throughout the country and the world. I don't even have to make money on it. As long as I'm solving the problem, that's it. You're a hero.
Yeah.
Because then they go to you for everything. They go to you for absolutely everything every single time, because anytime they have a problem with anything, they call you. And you know what else they'll call you for? When they have business opportunities for friends and family members and other colleagues and other clients and other vendors and other people that they work with, that they say like, oh my God, my accountant sucks. Well, mine's awesome. You want to talk to him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like Justin describes it well, like he's basically a quarterback for his clients, right? So like everything flows through him, and that's what really businesses need when it comes to needing a CPA. Like, they need, if we're gonna compete on prices of how low we can get our taxes done here, like, and do that whole game, and like, can we outsource to India and that type of thing, and like Vietnam and that type of thing. Like, okay, there's like US outsourcing now. Like, so what matters is not the quality of the outsourcing if it's all going to be the same. It's just like, all right, who's going to quarterback this for me now and build a business? Well, it's going to be like someone like CPA JMac, right?
Well, I can do it. You can pay me to do it. I can manage the entire thing.
He's going to, yeah. Because he's going to give so much insight that like, it's going to be so there's a big,
that's actually a great idea.
Reason.
They're going to want to know how to do that, right? And like, there's so many growing pains I had onboarding, international people. And you have no choice. I mean, you have to do it this year. You have to do it in this time. Anyone that's not doing that now, that has a firm like my former employer that fired me, they're using old ladies that, all they do is bookkeeping and they charge $90 an hour. Get a business real soon, because I'm charging a third of that, and the quality of work is through the roof.
Man, he said,
why is that possible? Why is it possible? Because I take advantage of what's in front of us.
He's taking advantage. You're either with him too, like taking advantage, kind of even spying on this podcast. Maybe you're either with him or you're watching him. So like,
and either way, I win. So
that's
because your eyeballs give me stuff.
He's literally gonna be there. He's gonna be there either way.
The only way you can beat me is stop watching me.
I'm gonna almost end this podcast before we give away too many secrets, too much. But like, it's almost like, we're actually not giving away secrets and things like that here. All right, competition. But what we are doing is like saying the truth and allowing like this talk to go on the internet, because we know that it's going to help at least one person. Just like, man, Justin's life freaking is totally different because he watched like one thing from Gary Vee, and like one thing from Gary Vee led to like me doing this, right? Like
one thing from you, Juan, though, like,
and then like in turn like influenced me to like put these types of messages into the accounting market. Like it's just a big value giving circle. And like, while we're doing this thing and building our brands, we're also giving value by kind of telling you how we're doing it, right?
We don't have
I think there is a big error in branding and coming off like a guru. There's a reason that, and I'll say it time and time again, there's a reason, and I'll never have to say these accounting marketer names, like any competition or anything like that. I know there's no competition, right? But could be, competition. I see that as anywhere else you would spend your money when you actually should be spending it with me. But there's a reason that a lot of CPAs and accountants come to my phone and say, is so-and-so a scam in accounting marketing, right?
you just talked about that.
And I don't say like, oh yeah, like I don't just, try to take the advantage that I could there, which is like, oh yeah, you know what? They probably are. But I just tell them like, I don't know why you think that of them. I haven't taken their stuff, so I don't know that. But I would just look at how someone is branding themselves and branding their, I mean, if you're hiring a marketer, you're going to want to look at their clients, right? Which is like, I have JMac. This is a testimonial that like, it's so good. Like people will not take it as a testimonial because regardless, even without testimonials, we're growing anyway. And so like people, like we're that good that people just have to accept it.
Nobody's gonna say I'm a scam. Nobody's gonna say Juan's a scam. You know what they're gonna say about me?
Might in the future.
I'm a douchebag. I don't shut the fuck up. I'm an angry piece of shit. Fuck that guy. Or he's amazing and he's. You're never gonna say I'm a scam.
When they can't like actually win a debate or a conversation, or like they actually don't have an opinion on an issue, like say how Justin has a lot of opinions on a lot of issues, right? And he has actual drawn out opinions. Someone can comment under, like come back and say like something stupid or like insult him, right? Either insult him or say, well, you're this, so that. And like everything that I just described, because I study communication intensely, like more intensely than I ever talk about, trust me. All they're doing is like ejecting themselves from the conversation really quickly, like a politician. So it could work if like they did it to him over and over, but Justin would just not care because he wouldn't care about that person.
Hold on.
He wouldn't care about like winning him over because they would just they would keep setting him up unless they left the conversation. They would set him up to tell even more truth. And like,
but I win still. I still win.
That's the thing, because like they set you up to even tell more truth. So like the only place they win is like with people that are actually like them, that are like, yeah, like I either already had previously supported this person, so I'm just gonna blindly support what they say, like on LinkedIn or something like that, or like they're actually like another one that doesn't like Justin, or they're afraid of Justin kind of impacting the political correct culture of accounting, right? And so prestigious and so fancy, right? Yet he's actually, I won't say he will, but he could have the opportunity to make historically more than the same people that are making fun of him for being authentic, or like sitting in a room, right? I have an office. You're going to trust someone in a room, right? Man, people are going to lose to people like people are going to lose to people like Justin. And it's going to be pretty embarrassing egg on the face in the future.
Look, and I give.
That's it. I could talk all day about.
I know, but hold on. I want to
about
leave
this.
with this. I have one comment on that, and then I have one last comment. I promise I shut up. And if you want to drop your like hot ass beat after that, right? Dude, like
Yeah,
that hot beat. I fucking love that shit.
Yeah.
Like the best. So I give zero fucks, guys, but my feelings are hurt. Like it hurts. Like it doesn't not like feel good. Like I don't say, oh, I don't get angry about it. Like I get upset about it. Like it hurts your feelings. Like you want people to like you, but I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to really let it depress me or upset me or, or like, make it not upset, affect me. I think it's good. Because in a way it actually challenges me to look for what people don't like, and potentially it's a learning opportunity for myself. I've gotten humbled a couple of times, and it's not always a bad thing. But again, if it is the making fun of, it really does hurt. It does hurt my feelings. But good, if that's your goal, then go ahead. But guess what? Then you're just an asshole, and then I'm gonna fucking bury you even more. Because you think that's not gonna hurt. I mean, it's not even a flesh wound. It's like a little prick on my ear, like those things hurt, but they hurt for a second. Like those words hurt, but they hurt for a second, and my last comment, and I promise I'll let you wrap it up here. If you guys do want to know what we do, it's all documented. It's all there. Go look at what I did on Twitter and Insta. Go looking back. I mean, you can see. I mean, go read it all. Go look at the hashtags. Like, go see what the engagement is. Like, there's a lot of data there that's available for you. And go see what you like and dislike. And you know what else you can do when you're going through that? You can comment and you can like and you can share and maybe start a conversation, because then I know who's listening to this kind of stuff. But then you can learn from that. And then you're going to take pieces from Juan and myself and others. You're going to find others. All you got to do, guys, you're at your computer. Guess what? And you're working, getting paid for it. Go on social media. Yeah, and if you can't do it on the internet, on because they block it, do it on your phone. So you want to know what we do? Go watch it.
Go watch it, whether you like us or not. And if not, like, it's a really good idea for you to go see what we're up to. Because like we're sitting here like kind of telling you how to do a lot of stuff for free, both from the accounting side, from the marketing side. And like, if you don't like us, it's like, man, we're straight up telling you we're so good that we could put it out and like still beat you. And like, that's the actual truth. Like, so come on. Like, I saw someone announce like some marketing firm in Texas. Like, I'm ready. Accounting marketing firm in Texas. Like,
the only way you can beat us is ignoring us.
People kind of like try to tear down other businesses, right? It's not that I do that. It's actually like, I'm going to create other companies that are competitors, right? Like, I'm gonna literally create and inspire some of their best marketing products and ideas and videos. They're just gonna say like, put 3 different words on it, right, as the title. So, but it's gonna be the same concept and the same strategy. So like, Justin is literally telling you that we are putting so much out there that you can go use to your benefit. I'm telling you, we put so much out there that like, we gave you the game plan. Like, we're like, here's what we're doing. Like,
ask me, I'll tell you. Even if you hate me, I'll still tell you. Ask me a question, I'll still answer.
Yeah, and like, growing firms by hundreds of thousands in dollars in revenue. Me growing accounting firms by hundreds of thousands of dollars. CPA JMac is not there yet, right? But no. I could have already, off of the brand that I have, I could in year 2 be like, all right, guys, I'm ready. Sign up for the Gold Lake marketing program. We're doing them 3 days, all year long, right? And this is what will happen to your business. Do you want to be like me? Like, in this first year, do you want it to happen to you in the first year? Like, and then sell you a course to where like, I show you the exact same things I would have showed you for free in year 2.
That's it.
So like, go check out the free stuff, because that's right. My course that I just.
It's all out there. It's all out there. Look, we can talk forever. We know that. Honestly, you guys are all blessed and very fortunate that we're starting to record these things, and so am I, because I'm going to learn from myself. But Juan, I'm going to do something a little unorthodox. I'm Irish, and you ever hear of Irish goodbyes, I'm sure. And I will talk to you on Instagram. But I'm just going to close this shit out right now and drop you with JMac out.